many waters and the voice of mighty thunder. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. Rastafari. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints, martyrs. Rastafari. And he said unto I, Right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said unto I, These are the true saints of God, Jah, Rastafari. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto I, See you do it not. I am your fellow servant and of your brethren, that has the testimony of justice. Worship Jah, for the testimony of justice is the spirit of prophecy. Rastafari. Thanks, I. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does both judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man know, but he himself. Rastafari. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called Word, Jah. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron. And he treads the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Jah, Jehovah, Rastafari. And he has his vesture upon his thigh, a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of the heaven, Come and gather yourself together unto the supper of the great God, Rastafari. Give thanks. That you may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. Rastafari. I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth, and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse, and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth. And all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Rastafari. Give thanks, strength. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years shall be fulfilled. And after that he must be loose a little season. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of justice, and the word of Jah, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. Rastafari. The rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power, but they shall be priests and God and of the Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Many hours, and when 1,000 years expires, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints all about, and beloved the city. And fire came down from Jah out of heaven, and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and forever. And I saw a great white throne, in him that sat upon it, whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Jah, and the books were open. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast in the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, come down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Jah is with men, and he shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Jah him shall be with them, and be their Jah. And Jah shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto I, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto I, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the foundation of the water of life freely. Rasta.